All right, welcome to Two Sons Podcast. Happy Thursday, everybody. It's January 9th. This is our first pod of the new year, so happy
Wow.
New Year.
Yeah.
We've been very, very busy. I just went out of town on a trip. It's been the holidays. It's been work stuff. It's been crazy, and I'm sorry that we haven't had as consistent content as usual. Big year for the show, though. There's
Our
a
show?
lot. There's a lot to get into this year. We
Yeah.
have Andor Season 2, which, like, the reports coming out of that are that it's going to be, like, some truly incredible Star Wars content.
We might have two good Star Wars pieces, in a row.
Yeah.
With Skeleton Crew and Andor.
And Skeleton Crew's been really good.
Mm-hmm.
There's The Last of Us Season 2. I'm going to make you rewatch, or you have not seen Season 1, so you'll have to watch Season 1. So we have Last of Us. There's a new Game of Thrones show coming out this year. There's literally just a ton of amazing content. There's a new show that my wife and I watched called Severance. That's on Apple TV Plus. That has a new season coming out in January. That's really, really good. We have books.
Yeah.
Early February is when Dark Lord: The Rise of Darth Vader comes out on audiobook.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to do a bunch of stuff surrounding that. So big year for the show.
Mm-hmm.
So rest assured we'll make up for it after taking some time over the holidays. First of all, like, how are you, man? I feel like I've barely seen you
I'm
over the
good.
last couple weeks.
Yeah.
I heard
Everything's
you
good.
may or may not be redoing your floors.
Oh, gosh. dude. For anybody who's been listening for, the last 2 years that we've been doing this, they understand the floor debacle. I'm not even going to get into it, but yeah, I think we're going to be redoing our floors.
Getting close to that point.
Yeah.
For the record, I
They're
like
just
your
failing.
floors.
No, they're
but
great.
I
They're
support
literally
your
just failing.
I support your decision.
I'll be like walking, and then I'll hear the concrete just like give underneath my foot,
really?
and then it like lifts up as it like sticks
okay.
to my foot.
So it's like
Yeah.
straight up shedding off of the top. Gotcha.
Dude, we
yeah.
got some really bad advice when we put those floors
Really?
in.
Mhm.
And over, it's just kind of like rearing its head. So,
Dude, but this is why, like, so one of the big differences between Luke and I is, like, I am not handy at all whatsoever, so I always pay everybody to, like, do work on our house or anything along those lines. I'll do, like, manual labor
Sure.
type stuff, like demolition, that kind
dude,
of thing. Basics.
you've framed your house before.
I've done
seen
some
your work.
stuff, but it's
I've
not
seen your
sharp.
work. It's good.
It's
good.
It's not the best work that's been done. Luke is very much a craftsman, so he like gets his hands on stuff and he'll do stuff. But like, yeah, like what happened with that is part of why you have some fear with contract work. Is like,
Yeah, man.
some people profess to be experts, but then cut corners and
Yeah.
don't do quality work.
Because the same guy would have been the guy doing it, the guy that gave me the advice on it, because
Mm-hmm.
I bought the product from him, and he probably would have done a shittier job than what I did,
No,
and we
you're
would
right.
have paid a lot more.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, it's a learning curve. Like, I get so frustrated, but then you've got to give yourself some grace. Like,
Yeah.
I just started owning a home, 6 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
7 years ago, and this was the first time that I ever did any like concrete work that was supposed to be like finished level, and it turned out great.
It looks amazing.
Yeah, it was all the prep work that was
Yeah.
shit, right?
Mhm.
Like the crack repair, I didn't do a good enough job on. I didn't use the right product, and then we literally tried to lay cement over what was sections of tar paper, and
Yeah.
we were told specifically
Yeah, you
to
asked
do
the guy,
that.
you're like, "What's up with this tar paper? Is this
Yeah.
going to be a problem?" Nah,
Yeah, no,
you're
just do it. I
fine.
know. And then everywhere there's tar paper, the floor is lifting up. So
Oh, that's
it's
so
all right. It's all
frustrating,
good.
man.
But things are good. Little baby Marlo is doing great.
Yeah,
she's
dude.
almost 3 months now, and then she's sleeping through the night. She went 12 days without taking a poo.
Yeah, that's gnarly.
Bro, that is stressful.
I would be freaking out if I was a parent too. I could only, but the thing is like I always wonder with a guy like you though, like if the burden of knowledge helps. In a
You know
case like
what?
that.
So it's Elena that was freaking out about it because like she was fine, right? Like when someone's not pooping, parents are funny, me being one of them, right? So they'll come in to like the clinic and they'll be like, you need to do an x-ray of my kid's stomach to see if they're constipated. And you'll ask them like, well, like, are they constipated? And they're like, yeah, they're constipated. And you're like, why are we doing x-rays then? We know your kid hasn't taken a shit, you know?
Yeah, like we
So-
already know the problem.
Right, yeah.
There's
It's like
no
it'll be-
investigation that needs to be
right,
done
like
here.
we know the answer.
There's poop inside that should be outside.
Right, exactly. So like, Elaine and I are having that conversations with ourselves. Like, but the thing is she was acting fine. Like you go and
Yeah.
push her tummy, she like no big deal.
There wasn't
She
abdominal pain or anything.
no,
Yeah,
none.
yeah.
She's just hanging out, sleeping through the night, eating great. So I knew it was okay, but Elena was kind of freaking out,
Well, she's done better though, right? Like she's closer to one poop a week now.
Yeah,
She's
but
getting up
I
there.
mean, 12 days. Like literally she just pooed today. Like before I came.
So today was breaking a 12-day streak. Okay,
yeah,
so
like,
you've been riding this wave every week. Every week
it was
you're
a
like,
record.
oh my God, here we go.
Yeah. She hasn't pooped since last year, Jay. Like it's been a long. But it's it's breast milk. So apparently it's like super efficient. I was kind of laughing to myself. Apparently there's like rumor that Kim Jong-un just doesn't poop. Have you heard that?
No.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
It sounds like propaganda though.
Oh, of course. Well, yeah. I mean, the guy has to take a poo, right? So, but apparently,
You plebes, you guys poop.
right? Yeah, he's
Not
too like
Kim.
wholesome and holy to not poop. But I was thinking of that. I was like, is this what it's like for Kim? Like to not have to take poos?
Yeah, it's just a straight breast milk
Yeah,
diet
he's
for Kim
just like
Jong-un.
so efficient. His
He
guy-
only drinks the finest breast milks.
he is from all around the world. That's actually never mind. I'm not gonna. That was a joke. I'm just not gonna touch.
That's a Chappelle Show joke.
Yeah, but things are good at the Heffaker house, man. It's going
Graham's
well.
handling the 2-kid situation well.
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, Graham is like growing so much in the last few months. It's
Yeah.
been crazy to see how much more of his personality is coming out, how much more
Mm-hmm.
he's communicating. Like it's been a while to see your
Yeah.
family grow. Now you guys have like a straight up legit family.
Dude, I know.
you're
We're like a
full
pod.
unit.
Yeah.
You got a
Yeah.
pretty sick Christmas present. You want to
Yeah,
tell
dude.
us about it?
So my brother got me this lightsaber, and actually it came with two.
Shout out Michael.
Yeah, shout out Michael. This happens to be Luke's lightsaber, and it's from Theory Sabers, and many of you listeners probably know Star Wars Theory, and he's got his own line of lightsabers that are out, and I've got to say they're pretty awesome.
This thing is sick. I'm
Yeah.
not even gonna lie to you. I've played with it, with the actual attachment thing on it.
Yeah.
The night that I came over, I think it was New Year's Eve.
Uh-huh.
First of all, I'm amazed at the craftsmanship.
Isn't it incredible?
The effects
it's like
are all
solid
really
metal.
cool.
Yeah.
And like, I want one, dude.
Dude,
I want
so,
one so bad.
and
I'm gonna
that's
get
the
a
thing.
different one though.
I was looking at because it was a gift. I was like trying not to check out the prices, but
Yeah.
I was curious, like not about the prices. I was curious just about like the product, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I went online, and you definitely get what you pay for, right? And I think these are kind of pricey, but I think it's worth it. Like if you're gonna keep this for a lifetime, and if you're not just gonna give this to like a 6-year-old and have them play outside with it, it's probably a really good buy. Like I will say, like it seems super durable. It's got like a heft to it that I wasn't.
It's got a real heft.
Yeah,
There's
it's got
no
a
doubt.
heft. It's got a nice heft, and the sound effects are like way better than I ever could have imagined.
It's
like,
really the whole thing where it's like actually like 40 different lightsabers
Right.
in one is
dude,
cool.
with all the different colors.
All
too.
the
Like,
different colors.
It has like the Temple Guard color, and then it
Yeah.
has like different colors for like Balin's skull versus like
Yeah, it's got like the
versus Darth
orangey
Vader.
red versus the red.
Exactly. Yeah. So they knocked it out. I feel like I'm gonna want some more. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
2 years in a row though where I've gotten these sick Star Wars Christmas presents,
Yeah.
right? So like,
This
we've
thing.
got the AT-AT helmet here, which was incredible. That was from Cybercraft. Quality
is
on
very
that is
cool.
great. Yeah. And then my brother surprised me with this and hooked it up. So
Dude.
things are looking up.
Yeah, in our Star Wars memorabilia department. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a like, you know how like Instagram, when you linger on a reel, it'll just kind of like continue to suggest stuff to you like that. Every time a lightsaber shows up on my feed, I always watch the whole ad.
Yeah.
Just because I think lightsabers are cool.
Oh, dude, they're so
and so
great.
inevitably it just keeps suggesting them to me. And it's like comparison, and it like shows all the different like companies. It's like, this is the Disney saber. It's
Yeah.
shit. This
Right,
is
right,
the other
right.
one. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Well, and that's what the guy from Star Wars Theory was talking about, because I saw this like, I don't know, 6 months ago, and he was actually at Disney, which was comical because the guy hates Disney, from what I understand.
Oh yeah. I mean, most
a
Star Wars
lot of
fans
Star
at
Wars
this point,
fans kind
yeah,
of
Disney's
hate
not
Disney, right?
exactly. Yeah.
Not the bee's knees at this point. But he was trash talking their sabers, and I was like, okay, that's interesting. So then when I opened this up, I was shocked with how nice it was.
It's high quality.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. I'm glad you brought it by so we can show everybody on the show. I think it's cool too how like it can be a fun thing to mess around with, like when you feel like just being a kid.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's something that's like a cool piece of memorabilia to put up on
It's
a
really
shelf.
cool.
Did it come with this little stand?
No, I think you had to buy the stand
Gotcha,
separate.
okay.
And actually, it did come with another saber. I think he was running a special, from what I was told.
Yeah.
Where, like,
The
I
one
think
that one's more generic, but it
it
does all the
is.
same shit.
And I
Yeah.
think it's kind of like his saber, from what I understand.
Oh,
like,
okay, gotcha.
Like I think, and for whatever it's worth, too. Like you and I have both wielded this one, Luke's.
Mm-hmm.
It is so difficult to hold. Like
Oh,
if
yeah.
you were like actually.
I don't remember when I first watched Return of the Jedi, I'm like this giant like
It's like a
stick
box?
of gum that's stuck on the side of this saber.
It would get you killed. If
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
fighting against Bane with that saber, you'd get killed in 2 seconds. For many reasons, but the lightsaber would be one of them.
If you tried any of like Kasim's crazy
Right.
like lightsaber shit, you just end up grabbing fuck, and then just getting stabbed.
I feel like if you gave that to Kasim and was like, hey, you're going to fight someone with this, he'd throw that to the side and pick up a stick. Like, I honestly, like with how hard it is to wield that thing, it's uncomfortable. Like, it hurts, right? So
it looks
definitely-
cool. The
it
box
looks
thing
great.
looks cool.
It looks great.
But yeah, it definitely has just a little bit of an unwieldiness to it.
Oh yeah, but it's great.
Um,
Tell me about your ski trip.
the ski trip was great, dude.
Yeah.
First of all, I missed having you up there.
I know, we were bummed.
You like we just have a lot of good memories skiing together.
Right.
But I know how it goes sometimes with the schedule. And we'll be skiing together in about 3 weeks. 3 weeks from Monday, I believe.
In some world class.
In some world class conditions. Yeah.
That's
So
if the slopes are open. We'll see if
Breck
Ski
is-
Patrol goes on strike.
yeah, is that something that's happening?
Yeah, I think
What?
it's in Park City. You haven't seen that? Or no, Vale.
I've seen the lift lines, all the talk about lift lines being
Right.
bad, but I was just like, I've been through that. I saw someone was like, they're trudging up the mountain. I was like, I literally remember
did that.
trudging up the mountain. We did that, didn't we?
We did that.
It was in Breck at peak 9, and it was when we had that Airbnb that was at that different peak, and
Yeah.
so the lift line at the base was so long, we literally trudged up to the next lift. But like that's the thing, when you go on the weekends to these big
Yeah.
ski resorts, it's a shit show every time. It's been like that the entire time I've been skiing. Everyone acts like it's this new thing. It's like
Right.
that. It's been like that forever. Like, don't ski on the weekends. It's
Right.
a stupid
If
thing
you
to
can-
do.
yeah.
If you can afford it.
For
To-
many
to-
reasons, you don't ski
yeah.
on the weekend. Like the culture is different too on the weekends. Like it's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of weekend warriors who are just absolutely reckless.
Yeah.
That'll just
Yeah.
like destroy you by taking you out, right?
Uh-huh.
So, but yeah, there's a picket lines with like some of the lifties and ski patrol. I think at Vale Resorts, and like they have no workers to run the lifts apparently. Right.
That's
now.
really interesting.
Yeah, you should look into it. It's
Yeah.
kind of so. Hopefully, it doesn't spill into Breckenridge, but
With,
yeah.
with
So
the amount of tickets they're selling at the price they're selling them at, you'd think they'd be able to, especially to
Dude,
like
it's over
Breck has gotten
$2.
over 100 inches of snow already this season. Like, so that was the whole thing with Snowball was they were at 28 inches on the season. They got a huge snowfall early. It was like late October,
right.
early November. So for the record, this is Arizona. This is south of the Grand Canyon. Okay, it's about 2 hours north of Phoenix. There's this they call it Humphreys Peak or Agassiz Peak, but it's basically this like dormant volcano. It's actually this really interesting concept. So like it used to be what's called a hot spot. So like basically it's a thin portion of the Earth's crust where because it's so thin, the magma obviously like comes through more frequently. And the plates of the Earth's crust actually slide over these spots, right? And so it's actually another example of a famous hotspot is Yellowstone. So like, so if you look at Yellowstone, what's really fascinating is Yellowstone is in this like northwestern portion of Wyoming, if I remember correctly. And if you look in Idaho, like you can literally see this like strip of the bottom of Idaho where Yellowstone used to be thousands of years ago, you know,
Right.
where this hot spot just like volcanically messed up this portion of the Earth's crust, and now it's at where Yellowstone is, right?
kind of like Hawaii, right?
I think, and
where it's like a long strip,
Yeah.
where like the crust has moved over thousands.
Yeah,
of
like
years.
you can literally tell, like it's less green and it's like desolate,
That's cool.
and it's because literally, like Yellowstone literally moved through that area, that spot, the hot spot moved through that area, and now it's currently where Yellowstone is, and it's probably more than thousands of years, and probably
Right,
like
yeah,
millions of years into the past, but
couple hundred
years, you know, like when George
We've seen
Washington was.
Yeah, Yellowstone used to be in Arizona.
So, but anyway, so like the one in Flagstaff is like this. So like it's a big 12,000 foot peak right in the middle of nowhere, right? But as you're up there and you're looking around, it's really interesting because like there's all these little cinder cones all in the valley around where like little tiny volcanoes or volcanic
it's
spouts
pretty sweet.
kind of came up. So it's like this really interesting kind of topography, but it's been dormant for thousands, millions,
At least 100 years.
Yeah, at least 100 years since it's blown up, right? Actually, so if I'm not mistaken, there's Sunset Crater, which is next to that or close to that. I think is 1,000 years old. So like there has been some relatively recent
Interesting.
volcanic
Okay.
activity in that area. Anyway, that volcano now, because we don't have mountains that tall in Arizona, we just don't. Like all of the mountains that we have are like in Safford and Tucson, they're like 8,000-9,000
Yeah.
feet. We're not getting up into that range. So we have this 12,000 foot mountain, which means good ski conditions, right? So like,
Hell yeah.
so like they get plenty of snow. They have like a legit operation up there. So like it's 2 hours from Phoenix, 4 hours from Tucson. So we do day trips and regular trips and stuff. But apparently every like 6 or 7 years, they have something that they call a dry winter up there where they just don't get any snow. And the last time that happened was in 2016. And so we were talking to like a bartender, and he was like saying like we were talking to this bartender, and he was like saying that they were freaking out a little bit because they were losing their ass.
Snowball.
But every night we were talking to another employee while we were on the gondola one day. Every night their snowblowers have been working their asses off through the night, making snow and packing it down. So they had this 28 inches in like early November. They've had literally no snow since then.
I think we
up
went
until
61 days.
Yeah.
Without rain here in Tucson.
And so we went up there thinking like, oh shit, because we booked it right around that time. We're like, oh, this is gonna be sick.
Right.
Snowball's gonna be ready to rock. No damn snow. So we went up there like pretty pessimistic about everything. And it was legit just really perfectly fine ski conditions.
That's awesome.
Like they've made the shit out of the snow. They've shoveled it. Like what they basically did is they took the spread of snow that was all around and they kind of like used bulldozers and shit to like kind of keep it into these strips that they keep making the snow on the strips and then packing it down. So there's like, even though there's like grass and trees like on the side, there's like legit ski runs that are like a solid like 17. I think the base depth is like 17 inches or something. So there's a solid base there.
Yeah.
And then because they make fresh snow on top every night, and because now it's finally starting to get colder. I think if we would have gone like through 2-3 weeks ago, it would have been so damn hot.
Sure.
That it would have been like
skiing on mashed
slushy and
potatoes.
nasty.
Yeah.
But like there were definitely some icy spots. I don't want to act like it was like perfect, but like I was cruising.
That's
like,
awesome.
I
man.
was having a blast.
I'm so glad that it was worth
Dude.
your guys' time because
Oh.
that would be so frustrating to try and get a tune up and then just have it be, a shit show.
It was great. I will say the second day it was windy as shit and really
gosh,
cold.
dude, the wind has been insane.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like, but this was crazy. Like we had 60-mile-an-hour gusts at our house. I don't know about how it was at your house.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys lose
No.
any trees or anything?
Just like a small limb. That's
Is your
it.
backyard a disaster?
Yeah, dude, our pool is disgusting.
Our pool is all fucked up too. Yeah,
Creature of the Black Lagoon now lives in my
dude.
pool.
My parents So my parents live a little bit further to the northeast. They're about 5 minutes down the road. There's in Tucson's geography, there's these Mount Lemmon. It meets like another mountain range right up in this northeast part of town, and they refer to it as Reddington Pass. But basically, when the winds come from the east, they like siphon through
that's right where your
that
parents
pass. And so the northeast side of Tucson, every time there's winds from the east, gets demolished, right? So like we were getting in our area like 50, 60-mile-an-hour gusts, which was like unsettling. All day I'm like working yesterday. I'm in my house just like watching film and stuff, and it's just like unsettling. And like wind is going crazy.
You hear your house make a lot of noises.
Yeah.
You're like, all right. And I live in a brick house, and I'm like, why do I hear noises from my house right
I feel
now?
like this brick should not be settling from these wind gusts.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
But basically, so my parents woke up in the middle of the night from, I think it was a tree branch, but I'm not 100% sure what it was, but something shattered their master bedroom window.
Oh, damn.
Shattered it.
Oh my gosh.
They cardboarded it and closed the shutters, and they're making it a home insurance claim and stuff. But like, dude, I was like, can you imagine how scary that would be?
That would be wild.
To wake up in the middle of the night to that happening. Like,
Yeah.
dude,
That would have put me into like high alert. Like I'll disclose some info about myself. I kind of sleep talk.
yeah, you do. Yeah, it's funny.
And I'm already pretty active at night. I cannot imagine having something crash through my window. What I would do, that would be insane,
dude. I'm telling this story.
Nobody tell anybody that.
Yeah, no one tell this story.
That's private
about Luke.
information about me.
So we were back when your parents used to live up in Prescott. We used to go
Uh-huh.
visit up there, and then we'd go to the rodeo. We'd go go to what's Jerome, the mining town.
Oh yeah, Jerome's tight.
Go into town, have a good dinner. It was a way to get out of the heat and
Sure.
and just kind of have some. And your parents had a beautiful home up there.
Oh,
that
so
overlooked
fun.
like a valley, and there was a bedroom there that had like just 2 queen size beds that were like jammed on both sides. And when we were younger and we used to go up there and visit, like we'd be drinking.
Oh, yeah.
Like I'd like wake up in the middle of the night and Luke would be like sleep talking, like with his hands on the wall, like holding the wall up.
Dude, if
You're a lot better now. You're a lot better.
I've
these
gotten
days.
way better. Like it's literally directly related to stress.
Oh, for sure. And those were back in the days when you were in primary care.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
you were
yeah, for
legitimately
sure.
a stress ball like all day, every day.
Dude, I would ride that tight wire where like I'd want to have fun in the evenings with friends, but then I'd have to wake up super early to always work no matter what every single day, and it sucked.
It was so crazy,
Dude. Oh my gosh.
So I got a funny story from the was it the first night? No, it was the second night. So we kind of have a chill night and with the Clunes. So
Yeah.
So we were originally all 6 of us were going to go, but you guys had something come up, so you
Right.
guys couldn't make it.
Right,
so
right.
it was just me, my wife, and then our buddy Marcus and his wife Dolly. And so basically, we watched a show. I think we just watched Shrinking. We got caught up on Shrinking, watched a few episodes, and it's time for bed. So we turn the TV off and we all go to sleep. And like around 11 o'clock, like I'm out cold, everyone's out cold. The TV like gets a power surge or something and like turns on. And then
Gross.
somehow I have no idea how, but like the volume got like maxed out.
Ew.
And then it entered into like some this like a almost like a, you know, like a standby screen where it like started making this really loud, like playing really loud music. It kind of sounded like, you know, the PS4, PS3 home screen
Yeah.
sound where it's like kind of like
It's kind of spacey.
yeah,
and,
it's like
tech
spacey.
soundy.
Yeah, but it was like absurdly loud. So like, Carly wakes
that
me
is
up
so
and she's
weird.
like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And so I immediately start freaking out. I'm like,
Marcus is turning on the PS3 at 1 a.m. trying to play Crash Bandicoot.
so we're literally we're in rooms that are on opposite sides of the Airbnb, and there's a living room in the middle. It's just like a little condo in downtown Flagstaff, right?
Both
So, like,
couples thought the other couple was just being super
out
weird.
of control, right? So I immediately, I'm like, I was DJing earlier in the night when I just had these Bose, these like Bluetooth speakers, right? So I immediately start freaking out, thinking like I have I'm having
Connected
like
in Bluetooth.
I'm playing music in the living room. So I grab my phone and start fumbling, but what I didn't
Jason's
even
playing PS3 music again.
so I like immediately I go to my Bluetooth and I turn off my Bluetooth, but like it's still making sound. I'm still like disoriented because we had skied all day, so like we're exhausted.
Sure.
We didn't sleep super well the first night because you know you never sleep well when you're away
Right.
from home, right?
Yeah.
So like, and then literally I get up and I'm like, now I got to get clothes on. So like, I'm like, it's this time. I'm in a room that I don't understand. My suitcase is like got all my clothes in it, but it's closed and it's pitch black in the room. There's no
Right.
lamp at the bedside. You have to go over to the switch. So like, I'm grabbing my phone and like stumbling around. And Carly's like, "What's taking so long?" I'm like, "I can't find any of my clothes." And so like, I literally
funny.
somehow Marcus and I both come stumbling out of the rooms at the exact same time.
Dude, that is so bizarre.
Marcus literally was like, "What the hell's going on?" I'm like, "I don't know."
Do you think that's the owner of the Airbnb that's just like,
Fucking with us?
Yeah. These pieces of shit. Oh, dude, that's hilarious. That's
dude,
so bizarre.
Oh, so Marcus somehow beats me to the clicker and he turns it off. And then
What the hell happened?
I started apologizing profusely. I don't even know what happened. I'm still all disoriented. I'm like, "Dude, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." And he's like, "Dude, it's not your fault." I go to the room. How?" Like, "Why were you apologizing to him?" I was like, "I don't know."
You literally asleep.
It was so
Dude, that's hilarious. That's how was the Airbnb? Was it nice?
It was perfectly fine. I would stay there again.
Dude, I love checking out Airbnbs. Like it's fascinating for me to like be able to like walk through like houses and apartments and stuff like that. Like I love, you know, homes. And so I was like thinking about if your guys' Airbnb was cool.
Yeah, it was. So do you remember the Kava bar?
Do I remember the Kava
Do you
bar?
remember the Kava
Of
bar?
course,
Yeah.
bro. That's the most out of place I've ever been in my entire life.
Oh, you would have been so in place this time. We went to Marcus and I went to the Kava bar.
No way. You guys went back?
So it was.
Did they
not
kill you? Did
intentionally.
they try and like kill you?
No. So okay. Tell everybody about the Kava bar first, because I think that's important background to this.
Yeah.
This is about 2 years ago.
2 years ago, we show up to Flag, and it was a ski trip, of course, and it was just
Just the 4 of us.
just the four of
Yeah.
us. Yeah, just the four of us. And there was this cool.
I think it's the last time the 4 of us traveled alone.
That's
We
wild,
were always
man.
going with groups. Yeah.
Oh man, that's kind of sad. Anyway,
Yeah, we need to
so
make that happen again.
yeah, it was like literally the most out of place I've ever been in my entire life. There was across the street there was this place called the Kava Bar, and we thought it was just like a regular bar where you could go and get alcohol. So we showed up, and went to go order drinks, and they're like, we only serve kava here. And we're like, well, what the hell is kava? And they're like, it's like a root.
I still don't know what it is.
Dude, I don't either. They're like, it's a root drink. And we're like, oh, is it any good? And they're like, no, it's not good. And this place is packed, right? And we're like, okay, why is everybody here drinking?
We were going at night when we went. It was late. Do you remember how late?
It was going out to the bar late. Like,
yeah, it was like 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Oh no, we were getting back to our place after the bar.
Yeah, so it was late. It was late.
So we're like,
and it was packed.
I know. Like, why are these people up late drinking non-alcoholic beverages in this like little cottage? You know,
and
it was weird.
It looks like a coffee bar. Like it has coffee bar vibes in the sense that there's like a little bar where you go, or like a little counter where you go up and order, and then there's like couches and chairs and shit around, like memorabilia on the walls.
So we tried it out. It was awful. If anybody ever offers you kava, don't drink it. It literally tastes like someone got like a root from some random bush outside, put some dirt into it, like heated up the water and served it up. The only thing that's kind of cool about it is it makes your mouth numb, which makes it even weirder. And then like this might be blasphemy, but the little research that we did into like what kava is, it seems to be like there's absolutely no research in regards to like how it could actually benefit you.
Because I remember Elena was pregnant at the time.
Yeah.
And we got some kava. We bought some. I don't remember.
We ordered drinks.
That's right. Yeah. But I think only Carly and Elena did. And you and I didn't. And then and then we took them back to the room, and Carly drank hers, but then Elena had a sip. I remember.
Yeah.
And then you were like,
I was like pissed.
But Elena was pregnant, so you're like, what is this shit that my pregnant wife is putting in her body?
And it was so bad. We ended up dumping hers. The guy that served us, Lighthouse Neck, had a giant lighthouse tattoo on his neck. And the reason why I noticed that is because he was also like our lifty on the mountain, like 6 hours earlier. He was a major a-hole to us.
Yeah, he was a dick. Yeah,
for no reason.
Which, by the way, all the Snowball staff still dicks. I don't know what the deal is. They take such amazing care of the mountain, but like you go to Breck and like you're like going up to the lift, and the people that are scanning your ticket are like, "Hey, how's the roads going, bro?" Like everyone's like,
soon.
Yeah, the people at Snowball are just fucking miserable.
I know they're mad. They're mad. Which I get it. Like that's a rough job. Like don't get me wrong. But anyways, it was an awful experience. People are judging us for being there. Like
remember how crowded it was? Like it was a weird. There was like a random like super old homeless looking dude, but then there were like super young people. It was like
and they were like in like this like music circle.
Yeah, someone was like playing someone was playing an unplugged electric guitar. Remember?
It just sounded like nails on chalkboard.
Yeah,
there was some bongos.
Yeah, dude, it was so weird.
So that was our kava experience. Why were we even talking about that?
So but here's the thing. Well, so we stayed there. So a couple things. Kava people who may be listening,
sorry,
do your thing.
Do your thing.
Just
I'm
caught
not
us off
you.
guard.
You're judging me.
Yeah, didn't know there was. Didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Also, like, hey, if you're a kava guy, break it down for us in the comments.
Please do.
But yeah, we were definitely caught off guard. So anyway, we were staying in a place. The kava bar was at this like southwest corner of a street, right by a traffic light. Remember?
Yeah.
Immediately across the street to the west was another building that on the back part of it was an Airbnb where we stayed with you and Elena. Remember?
Oh, right.
And remember that was the one where we got locked out because the little code thing stopped working and we were frigidly cold sitting on the porch for hours waiting for someone to come let us in. Yeah, that one. So instead of across the street on the same corner as the kava bar, kind of like it's like a big building there, just immediately to the northeast of it, but like in the same kind of like vicinity was this strip of condos. Very, very nice places, honestly. But anyway, there was a coffee shop that was right next to the kava bar, okay, just like immediately to the north. So when we got up on Tuesday morning before we were going to leave, but Marcus made pancakes the first day, but we didn't have breakfast for the second day. So we're like, we're going to go get some like pastries. It's just some basic shit for the girls, right? So we go down to the coffee shop and it's 7:57 or something, and the coffee shop's closed.
What?
And I'm literally looking at Marcus and I'm like, it's Tuesday.
When does it open?
7:57 and you're a coffee shop.
Right.
Like,
you open like 5 a.m.
I feel like, what is the absolute latest a coffee shop can be open? I would say 7.
Oh.
At the latest.
6:30.
And really should be 5.
Yeah.
because you're catering to people that
Unless
are getting
you're in
up
Europe.
in the morning.
I literally went to one at like 7 a.m. and they were closed still. They were like sweeping and getting ready to open, and they're like, "Why are you here? Like, you crazy
Europe,
American."
though, from what I hear, and I've never been, but from what I've heard, Europe is very much like, why do you Americans live life so fucking intense?
Oh,
like,
I know.
Take a chill pill.
Oh, I love it too. We went out to dinner, and it was like 5:30, and they're like, "We don't open for 2 hours. Why are you guys here?" Anyways,
so anyway,
why aren't they open? That's
so then
crazy.
we're like, then Marcus goes, "Why don't we go to the Kava bar?" And in my
gosh.
head, I'm like, this is gonna be a bust. But like, so we go into the
Did
Kava
they have
bar,
coffee?
and we walk in. First of all, big TV behind the countertop. It's much slower in the morning. There's like a dude sitting at the bar with his kid.
What type of music is live?
There wasn't any music.
Oh.
They were playing Skeleton Crew in the background.
Sick.
Yeah.
Already a better vibe.
Yeah, dude.
Way better.
So immediately I walk in and I'm like, "Oh, dude, it's Skeleton Crew." I'm like telling Marcus about Skeleton Crew because obviously he's not a Star Wars guy. And then the dude next to me, like, it was so funny because I was like, "Yeah, apparently it's like the Goonies but Star Wars." And the guy next to me is like, "I've been saying the same thing."
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
So anyway, we're like, "Do you happen to have like any like pastries or anything?" And he just kind of takes out like a grocery store pack. He's like, "I've got 2 muffins left," and then he takes out another one, and I've got some apple fritters. And I was like, "All right, we'll take 2 apple
I would
fritters."
do this one because it doesn't have a bite out of it. Like, why did he bring those?
Do
or
any
were
of
they
them
selling
have
them?
root paste in them? That's what I really
No.
wanna know.
Did they have coffee?
I think they do sell coffee there.
Okay.
But we just had coffee in the room. Believe it or not, it was like Folgers out of like a drip machine, and it was
Dude,
really
Folgers.
nice.
Yeah,
if
Folgers is there.
if a good drip cup still does it for me.
Oh yeah, or French press.
Yeah, I got my. We've got our Miele like automated coffee machine now. Now that thing is like my horse. But like, if I have to have like an old drip cup of coffee, I'll enjoy it. But anyway, I feel like I think that's just about it from the trip. Nothing else
Cool.
really crazy happened. The skiing was great.
Good.
Marcus is continuing to make great progress.
Awesome.
It's crazy to see how much better he's gotten.
I'm excited to see that.
Dolly did like 9 runs.
Nice.
Like she did really well. Like
Cool.
it was a great trip. Again, I missed having you there, obviously. It still is the only thing that I really enjoy like doing. Like really drinking. Like
I see.
I have
like what
fun.
we used to do. Drinking.
Yeah, like it's so funny. I don't enjoy it nearly as much in my daily life anymore, but when I'm skiing,
it's a vibe.
like,
man.
let's go. Let's have some fun.
I know. I'm getting ready for Breck, like mentally, and my liver's getting ready. Dude, I think we should do 2 bags of IVs for everybody.
I
this year.
think 100% agree.
Normally we just do a single, but I'm thinking we should double up.
Yes,
Especially
we have so many,
if we're gonna hit up après ski afterwards.
Yeah.
Like,
and we're gonna have we'll be a little less sloppy this time in après ski.
I don't know. It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad. It was sloppy for us.
It was
but
no,
yeah,
it was sloppy
but
for the people next to us. They were crazy. They were the one dancing up on us. Not,
So we have so many medical professionals in our group that we are successfully able to use IVs when we go on these trips, which has been
safely.
a game changer. Yeah, safely. At least I hope. I don't know what it is. They just put it in my arm and then. But
Jay, this is the good stuff.
anyway, I think that's it as far as
Yeah.
catching up.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much else to get into.
I started our studio table today.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Luke's
Yeah.
making a coffee table for us. This is actually a coffee table that we transport from my living room in here.
Every time we do a pod,
Yep.
we move this.
Yep.
Yeah. So we need our own. Yeah. But Skeleton Crew. Yeah.
Yeah, Skeleton Crew.
We only have one more episode after this.
I know.
And we've been like way behind the ball.
And
super
we
late
got caught off guard
releases.
by Dune being done too. Like
Dude,
with this 6-episode season, I was like,
I
what?
know. Skeleton. I'm actually like literally. No, I'm not going to say literally. I love Skeleton Crew.
I do too.
I am enjoying this so much. It is so watchable. It is so palatable. I think the characters are great. I don't think there's a single character that like really bothers me. SM33 is an absolute vibe. I think the idea of having a droid with with like a living rat in its head is priceless to me. I would never replace that.
R.I.P. though. Got
I know.
decapitated.
He's okay. He'll be
Think so?
okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He's that
I was
guy.
not expecting this massive heel turn from Jude Law. Like I knew I thought he was going to be more of like a gray area type of character.
too.
That's like a good guy, but that's doing some bad shit. But
I
that's
thought he was
actually a
trying
good
to act
guy.
bad, but he's good.
Yeah,
No.
I thought it was one of those kinds of things. He's leaning into the bad guy thing.
Right.
Very,
How do you-
very interesting. I don't even think it could be salvaged at this point.
You don't?
I mean, How?
He's pretty evil.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like, I feel like you hire him to be a good guy.
Yeah, that's what I was
know what
thinking.
I mean? Like,
Jude
I feel
Law
like-
inherently good
right.
guy.
No,
Yeah.
exactly. That's why it was so confusing. Did you ever watch Carry On? It's on Netflix. It's got the guy from Horrible Bosses. He's like a comedian type guy.
I think I've seen the previews for it, but I haven't seen it.
So he's always a good guy, but in Carry On, he's super bad. Very, very bad. Evil.
So
It
you're
can
saying
happen.
Jude Law is trying to showcase some range here?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were an actor, wouldn't you want to show some range? You wouldn't just want to always like be on like love stories.
I feel like being typecasted would be a detriment, but then again,
would.
I see guys like Liam Neeson or Samuel L.
Yeah.
Jackson, guys that have always played the same
Right.
exact character in every show, and I'm like, seems to be working for that. Like Samuel L. Jackson's like one of
True.
the highest earning actors of all time. You know
True.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So like at a certain, and I would lean into that too. Like
I would
like,
lean
like-
into
yeah,
If,
like
if someone's
every
paying me
industry
millions
has
of
a Skip
dollars to do
Bayless.
a movie,
It's like oh, he does 3 things, but he does them really well.
sure. I think he still is going to be good though. His
Yeah.
character. I think he's going to be able to turn it around. What was kind of cool is like we got to see some big picture Star Wars stuff, which
Yeah.
is I presume Ad Atten is like the mint for the galaxy. It seems like, or
So,
at least one of them. Because
It has to be an Old Republic mint, though, right? Because the dataries are exceptionally valuable because they're Old Republic dataries.
So, but why? I know. Okay, so they have thousands of those vaults that we saw,
Yes.
is what they say. And that vault was huge, like an unfathomable.
They went out of their way to make it an incomprehensible amount of money.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So, like, why is it all there? I guess that's still the big question, then, right? Like, for
So-
the viewer, like, literally, why is that there? That's crazy.
I looked at
And
it
why are
more
they
as
still-
like, so my interpretation of it, and you can tell me if you disagree, like, it seemed kind of like a gold mine in the sense that, like, you could see when they went underneath where it almost seemed like they were mining the gold
Yeah,
and turning that into the dataries. So, like, in theory, the way I was interpreting it was this was an Old Republic top secret mint. Okay. So
That
essentially,
serviced, like,
the Old Republic discovered this planet that had a gold mine on it, like the mother of all gold mines.
which also happened to be surrounded by like a nebula.
I
or
will.
something like
I
that.
thought that was. I interpreted that as man-made.
Man-made,
but
okay.
I could be wrong. Anyway, especially after what we saw with the Nile, it's like
you can
they
do
can
anything.
do some crazy shit with barriers.
Yeah.
Okay, like 200,000 light years, you got
Yeah,
it.
you got
Like,
it. Just flip that
Yeah,
switch.
that, like everyone thought Trump's wall was difficult. Like this wall is really going to be difficult. So, but like anyway, I interpreted it as like the Republic discovered the secret mining planet. Let's build minting facilities on it. Let's have it be a top secret facility
see.
where we only have generational employees that we indoctrinate from
Oh.
birth to be able to handle this. No one gets in or out unless they're
Dude,
these
that sounds
specific Republic people.
I think you're
Because
right.
then what would have happened potentially is like it's possible that Palpatine could have taken over through the Empire, and that could have somehow slipped through the cracks, and Palpatine could have not known about it. And so essentially there was no communication with the outside Republic for a long time. And then this ship that penetrates the barrier as part of the show is the only ship that's ever penetrated the barrier. The one thing that's tricky about it, though, is like I still wonder if this Pirate King guy is going to be revealed in this next episode as the Overseer.
Oh.
So because then he could have been the one, like he
Going
could have
in and out?
He could have discovered the planet and then essentially stopped any and all communication with the Old Republic, facilitated the hiding of it from Palpatine, and now he's sitting on this treasure, basically. That's what I was leaning towards, but I'm not sure.
That would maybe make sense because so they talked about the ship being a key, right, to get in and out through the barrier. And that actually explains why the kids were able to get past the barrier. Like you and I thought the barrier was fake originally.
Yeah,
just
we
'cause
thought
they
it was
passed-
like just like a propaganda thing.
Exactly.
You can't go out
So
there.
yeah, but it's definitely there, right? It blew up some ships, and I wonder if this Pirate King that they've talked about started out on the planet and then like left with one of the ships as a key. What was the ship called? Like I can't remember. It had a cool name. Onyx
Cinder.
Yeah, that's a cool name.
That is a cool name.
And I wonder, if he was kind of living like a double life, like pirate, and then also, citizen of Ad-Aden.
Well, but that's the thing though. Like if he would have somehow made himself in charge, and he was the only one who could come and go as he pleases, it's like essentially now his mint.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's badass.
But like I am curious to see the direction they're going with that. It still feels very like up in the air to me as to what's going to happen next. I in general have really enjoyed the show. I've loved the little bits and pieces of big picture, like good versus evil, but that's tied within the concept of the Force, but that's tied within this like ancillary storyline that feels very unserious in a good way.
Yeah,
Meaning,
in a really
like,
good way.
Yeah, like this isn't we're not trying to save the world here. We're just
Right.
this is a cool little mission that we're all on.
Right.
You know?
It's cool. Brutus, the pirate, is super cool too. I'm sad that he died.
The guy, the Wolfman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Wolfman.
Dude, that was pretty predictable though. Like when they had him tied up, I was like, he's about to
Right.
blow his.
I know.
blow a
But
hole
then,
in his head.
so I had that thought too. And then I like thought back on it. And I was like, no, this is a kid's show. They're not just going to shoot this guy in the dome. And then he just shoots him in the dome right in front of the kids.
Yeah, there's been a
Yeah.
good amount of like Star Wars has always done that though, even with like Clone Wars, where it's like we're gonna make this a little more violent than you would
True,
expect. Yeah.
exactly. And then it makes it like feel a little bit more real.
Mm-hmm.
This is the type of show that I would throw on like in the background, like when me and my family are hanging out,
Yeah.
type deal. Like if I'm ever hanging out with the kids,
Or
and if
at a
Elena's
kava
at
bar.
or at a kava bar, yeah, before I get really rude to my customers when they come in later that night, you know. No, but like I'm loving it. I think it's great. Do you think Jude Law's character was a Jedi? He's got like major Jedi vibes. Like he knew how to handle that lightsaber, which was interesting to me.
He's very competent with that kind of thing. I am wondering the same thing, like if that's going to be something they reveal. But at the same time, like it kind of feels like they would have done that earlier if they did.
Yeah, maybe.
The one thing I would say that could potentially turn it is we still have, if you remember, the girl that originally pulled the coordinates to the other Ad-Aden planet, whatever it was called. She was the one who told the New Republic pilots to go after them. The two X-wings.
Oh yeah.
So the only thing I can think of is if somehow like he ends up running into someone who recognizes him, and then that ends up being the thing that pulls him back from the brink.
Into
But
the
like,
good side.
but who knows? It could literally be our little owl person, but it could be anybody. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like, if they were gonna redeem him, the way to do it would be through like Jedi guilt.
Yeah.
Like you were a Jedi.
I know. And then he knows this giant secret, right?
Yeah.
So he has to live on Ad-Aden, presumably, if he's gonna be kept alive.
Dude, that scene where he was like kind of swimming in the credits, I literally was like, dude, I was like, you wouldn't even know how to spend this money.
No, you
Like,
couldn't.
Yeah, like it's like I don't, and I would be like that. The difficulty surrounding managing this like entire secret society for this like absurd, like I'd be like, just go rip someone off like
But-
old fashioned pirate style.
I know, right? Yeah, just handle your shit.
Yeah, just be a pirate. It's part of the pirate's code, bro.
Brutus's ship was cool too because it was like a larger like hangar ship.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really impressive.
No, it was cool.
Seeing ships like that, like I think are so dope. You think of like the giant hangars and Star Destroyers, which are always cool, and then
The
even,
rebel ship that had the whole face full of hangars. That was
Yes.
really cool,
dude. That's
too.
exactly what came to mind when I saw that ship. Like just like an absolute command center. That rebel ship was cool too.
It just every time I see the hangar
Phoenix
bays, I
base.
always think of Star Wars Battlefront, where like you would like on the old PS2 game where you could like literally fly your ship into the opponent's hangar bay and then like land and then jump out and start shooting
Dude,
everybody and start
it's
doing damage.
incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Yeah, but I'm loving it. Like it's hard because like at the end of the day with Skeleton Crew, there's really not much to break down. I feel like, Like,
Yeah, it's just fun.
At the end of the day, like after I watched that episode, I'm like, yeah, I continue to really enjoy this. You know,
Yeah,
And
it's hard to have takes about
Right.
something like that.
it is.
Which is the essence of that. Like Luke and I were talking about before the show. We were like, we're not going to try to sit here and like hyper analyze Skeleton Crew. Like we know that the people that are going to listen to this episode are just our regular listeners,
Right.
like our day ones, are the people who really like listening to us. Like we're not here trying to overdo this. Like we're just
No.
killing time before we get to the more urgent material. Like I guarantee you and I are going to have lots of takes about Andor.
Andor is great.
Andor is
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
be full of takes. It's
Mhm.
going to be something that we're going to have a lot to get into. The books that we're going to be reading, we're going to have a lot of takes. I haven't even checked about where they're at with the High Republic book release, but I checked like about a month ago, and they still didn't have anything on the calendar.
One of our viewers too gave us a book that he wants us to break down too. Check out
Star
our
Wars book?
comments.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I'll
I
take
think
a
it's
look at the
like one of the Kenobi books or a
Okay.
Kenobi book, and I
Okay.
guess it's really good.
Okay, yeah,
like,
maybe we can check
he was
something like
stoked. Like big. It was cool. In the comment, it's like a long comment, but it's like the whys as to why he likes this book so
Cool.
much, and it's an audiobook too.
Okay,
so,
I'll check it out.
Yeah, it seems pretty dope.
Are we ever going to read Labyrinth of Evil?
Yeah, dude.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I know. Okay, let's do it.
I would like to be ready to do the other two audiobooks are going to be ready in less than a month. So like,
listen, we talk a big game. I mean,
yeah,
like,
let's
we
read.
were like, hey, all of our viewers, like, we're going to read this
finish
book.
Labyrinth of Evil before the end of January.
All right,
Let's do it.
cool.
Okay.
Will you read it to me?
I'll make you an audiobook unabridged.
Jason,
I'm not as good as Mark Thompson.
Jason just calls me each night, and then I just put in my AirPods and lay in bed, and Jason soothes me to sleep.
I just start doing the cheery voice for everything.
How does your girl voice sound? Jay?
I don't know. Mark,
Don't
I'll
do
never
it.
be as good as Mark
Don't
Thompson.
do it. Don't do it.
But yeah, so we'll get into Labyrinth of Evil. We'll start
Cool.
making some progress. Again, we appreciate you guys for being patient with us through this time. We know how it goes. Like a lot of people get busy this time of year,
sure.
but
That's the way it
lots
goes.
of stuff. It's gonna be a big year for the show. First full year in the new studio too, which will be fun.
Dude, we'll try and get 2,000 subs. That's our next goal.
Yeah, that's our next goal.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all we have for today. As always, we sincerely appreciate you guys for rocking with us and for supporting the show. And we will see you in about a week for hopefully some Labyrinth of Evil and
Or in like
Skeleton
9
Crew
weeks.
finale.
Who
Yeah,
knows?
Yeah, we'll see how it
Like,
goes.
really, you don't know.
All right, bye guys.